Quinnipiac men's ice hockey competed in Lake Placid this weekend as the Bobcats look to hoist the Whitelaw Cup.
And while the ice hockey team headed to New York, the men's and women's basketball team made a run in the MAC tournament in Atlantic City.
Plus, the women's ice hockey team began play in the NCAA tournament in Columbus, Ohio.
We'll recap all the playoff action and more as Sports Paws starts right now.
Welcome to Sports Paws. I'm Clever Streich, and to my left is Joey O'Donohue. Joey, it's your first time on desk, and we've got a brand new set right behind us.
I'm so excited to be here alongside you, Clever, and in front of this beautiful new set. I'm ready to get started.
The men's ice hockey team began its run in the ECAC hockey postseason 2 weekends ago against the St. Lawrence Saints. Let's recap the series. Quinnipiac takes on St. Lawrence in the quarterfinals. Let's go to the first period of game number 1. Quinnipiac will be on the rush in this clip as Joey Cipollone jumps on the loose puck and passes it to Griffin Mendel, who jams it home. The 2-on-0 chance works. Quinnipiac has a quick 1-0 lead. Quinnipiac puts up 2 more goals as we head now to the third period as they have a 3-0 lead. And Jordan Steinmetz has something to say about that. He scores to break the shutout. The score is now 3-1. And this is the nail in the coffin to close it shut. Griffin Mendel scores the empty netter. The Bobcats take a victory in game 1, 4-1. So let's move on now to game number 2. Can Quinnipiac sweep St. Lawrence and head to Lake Placid? Let's find out. We'll jump into the third period of action here with Quinnipiac trailing 3-1. The comeback starts right here on this shot by Brendan Less from the point. What a rocket. Bobcats are now cutting the lead to just 1 goal. Just a few minutes later, Skylar Brindamore redirects the puck past Emil Zetterquist, and it's tied in Hamden as we head into overtime, double overtime that is, as we'll see right here. Let's head on to double OT as the Bobcats will win the ensuing faceoff. Griffin Mendel takes a slap shot that ricochets off the boards and onto the stick of Desi Burgart. And that's the game, and that's the series. Quinnipiac wins 4-3 in double OT and sweeps the Saints.
Then the Bobcats traveled far north to Lake Placid to take on the Colgate Raiders in the ECAC semifinals. How'd they do this time out? Well, you'll find out right now. First period, there's a pile up in the corner. Then Chow whips a pass across the crease, and it's a goal. Cipollone makes it 1-0, and it's his 10th of the season. We'll stay in the first as Colgate coughs up the puck. Bobcats bounce on it, and it's a Bobcat breakaway as Lombardi steals TJ Friedman's shot, but Friedman won't be mad for too long because it puts the Bobcats up by 2. Final minutes of the first coming up, and we have another breakaway. Can the Bobcats recreate their first goal? The answer to that question coming up. The answer is no. Denied. Mitch Benson makes a huge save as we go into the second. It's the battle of the breakaways, but this time it's for the Raiders. Ben Raymond picks up the puck deep in his own area, and then it's a goal from McGuire. He tucks it home, and the score is 2-1 Bobcats. Third period, here we go. Wonder what the next highlight is. Well, guess what? Another breakaway. This time it's Wyatt Bongiovanni. He's through and powers it in to the back of the net. The Bobcats go up by 2, and now Colgate has the puck with the dying minutes of this game. Matt Verboon's shot is comfortably saved by goalkeeper of the year, Yaniv Peretz, and that's all she wrote for this one. The Bobcats will win 3-1 and advance to the ECAC finals on Saturday night.
With the semifinal victory over the Raiders under the Bobcats' belt, Quinnipiac turns its attention to the ECAC championship game where the Harvard Crimson awaits. The number 1 seeded Quinnipiac Bobcats taking on the number 3 seeded Harvard Crimson in the ECAC hockey title game on Saturday night. Winner gets the Whitelaw Cup, and let's get right into it. First period of play. Just 1 minute into the game, and it's Harvard opening up the scoring in the championship game. Ryan Seedham opens the scoring. It's Quinnipiac trailing 1-0 to Harvard. And a few minutes later, they have an answer. It's TJ Friedman tying the game for the Bobcats. He crashes into the boards. Great effort from the senior as we head into intermission 1-1. Into the second period now. It's early on, and look at this magnificent stop from the ECAC Player of the Year, Yaniv Peretz, denying the one-timer, makes the save to shut down the Crimson opportunity. Now Harvard on the power play a few minutes later. They regain the lead. Ian Moore takes a shot, and it's just by Peretz as it's now 2-1 heading into the final frame. 6 minutes left to play in regulation. Bobcats on the power play. They pull Yanni Peretz, and it's Jaden Lee firing a shot by Mitchell Gibson from the point, and this game is tied, and we will head to overtime in Lake Placid. On to overtime, and it'll be Harvard's Matthew Coronado who will get the puck on his stick right here, takes the shot, and that will do it. Harvard wins the Whitelaw Cup for the first time since 2017, and for the second straight year, the Bobcats come up short in overtime in the ECAC title game. Your final score is 3-2 in favor of Harvard. After the game, Q30 men's ice hockey beat reporter Ethan Logue analyzed what brought about the Bobcats' overtime collapse.
The Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team fell to the Harvard Crimson on Saturday night by a final score of 3-2 in overtime in the ECAC Hockey Conference Championship game. Now, on its own, that loss is very tough, but it's made even tougher when you remember last year, where the Bobcats also fell in overtime in the conference title game.
Congrats to Harvard. They battled, they hung in. Games aren't decided on shots on net, and Mitchell Gibson was a crazy good tonight. He was great, and when they found a way to win, as for us, I thought we played great. I thought we were excellent. Proud of our guys.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely hurts. Passion in our locker room, the care factor is second to none. Just hurts.
Though the pain of Saturday night's loss may linger for a few days, the Bobcats will have to regroup quickly as they begin their quest for a national championship next week.
I don't know what we're going to do yet, but I know we're going to play a really good team in the opening round and then play another good one after that. So it's not an easy path, but we're excited about the NCAAs, and we'll deal with that tomorrow after the selection.
We attack this week, practice, just like we normally do. Our habits are what make us great, and continuing to do that, that's what we make us successful.
The Bobcats will now have a week to recover as they await the results of Sunday's NCAA Ice Hockey Selection Show. Reporting from Lake Placid, I'm Ethan Logue, Q30 Sports.
Thanks, Ethan. Although the Bobcats lost in the ECAC Hockey Championship, their head coach Rand Pecknold won a prestigious honor. Pecknold was named the ECAC Hockey Tim Taylor Coach of the Year last Monday. The Bobcats head coach won the award for the second straight season and the fourth time in his career. Pecknold also coached his team to its second consecutive Cleary Cup as the best overall regular season team in the conference and led the Bobcats to its third ever 30-win season as the Bobcats finished play with 31 wins. Pecknold was not the only one to pick up an award this past week as the accolades continued to pile up for goaltender Yanni Peretz. Peretz was named both the ECAC Hockey Ken Dryden Goalie of the Year and the ECAC Hockey Player of the Year. His remarkable 94.9% save percentage led all of the goaltenders in the conference. He also led the league in win percentage with 78.6% and a goals against average of .96. Finally, his historic season was capped off with a selection to the All-ECAC First Team.
And Zach Metza was also named the ECAC Best Defensive Defenseman, becoming the second Bobcat in program history to win the award and the first since 2013. Metza helped lead a defensive unit that posted the best scoring defense in the nation this year, as the Bobcats only allowed an average of 1.05 goals a game. Metza also led the Bobcats offensively with 34 points throughout the season. Switching from the men's ice hockey team to the women's ice hockey team, the Bobcats headed to the OSU ice rink in Columbus, Ohio to take on Syracuse in round one of the NCAA tournament. For the first time in program history, the Bobcats have won an NCAA tournament game as Quinnipiac shut out the Syracuse Orange 4-0. Corrine Schroeder made 16 saves in the victory as the Bobcats received goals from Taylor House, Sadie Peart, Jess Shriver, and Lexia Gia to advance to the next round.
But the Bobcats season ended in dramatic fashion as they fell to the Buckeyes 4-3 in double overtime. Graduate goaltender Corrine Schroeder made 73 saves throughout the game, setting a Bobcats program record. However, it was not enough to hold back the eventual NCAA champions. Claire DeGeorge scored her second goal of the game just 2 minutes into double OT to send the Buckeyes to the Frozen Four. The Bobcats season may have ended, but some of the graduated seniors are not done with their time in the blue and gold yet. The Bobcats have announced that seniors Lexia Gia, Courtney Vorster, Zoe Boyd, and Logan Andrews will be returning to the team for a graduate season next year. Agia ranked third in team scoring as she put up 28 points. Vorster and Boyd will be back on the blue line after leading the Bobcats to the third best scoring defense in the nation. And Andrews will stay in the crease after winning 11 out of her 15 played games last year. We have to step out for a quick break, but when we return, we'll switch things over to the hardwood floor for a look at the Bobcats' performance in the MAC basketball tournament.
How far can the Bobcats go in the bracket? Stick with us on Sports Paws to find out, coming up next.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Thank you for sticking with us here on Sports Paws. Now we'll take a look at this past week's basketball action from Atlantic City as we start off with the women's basketball team taking on St. Peter's in the MAC quarterfinals. Here we go, Quinnipiac women's basketball versus the Peacocks for the first game of the 2022 MAC basketball tournament. And the quarterfinals, St. Peter's beat Marist in order to get here as the Bobcats look for redemption after being one and done last year. And look who's in the house. It's the men's basketball team cheering on their fellow Bobcats. Let's go on to the first quarter. The ball is going to find Tierra White under the basket and scores some of the Bobcats' first points, but St. Peter's will control the rest of the first quarter. There's lots of aggressive rebounds like this one from Mikkel O'Neill on the breakaway. She finds Kendra Williams, and the grad student is going to nail the three, knocks that one down. St. Peter's leads 18-10 after the first 10. Second quarter of play now. Did not take long for Quinnipiac to get the jitters out. Here's Sajada Bonner with a big three to get the Bobcats to retake the lead. 26-23, Quinnipiac would lead at the half. Third quarter of action now. Mackenzie DeWeese returns to the court after some foul trouble, lands the reverse layup, and then she gets sent to the line to hit her 1,000th career point. She's excited, the bench is fired up, and the fans are going to break out the 1K signs. Now, later on in the third quarter, Bobcats do not stop there. Rose Cavalry finds Michaela Morris with a wide open lane for the layup. Quinnipiac is now up by 10 at the end of the third. Into the fourth quarter, we can't have a Bobcats win without some SI action. Haywood gets physical in this layup right here. As Quinnipiac is going to hold on to take this, they soar into the semifinals, beating St. Peter's 63-42. After the Bobcats got past the Peacocks in the quarterfinals, the third-seeded Manhattan Jaspers were waiting for them in the MAC semifinals. However, this would be the end of the line for the Bobcats tournament run, as Quinnipiac fell to Manhattan by the score of 72-59. Cartiera Haywood led the way for the Bobcats with 16 points off of the bench, but Manhattan responded with a 13-4 run late in the game to seal the deal, as the Jaspers advanced to the MAC championship game against the Fairfield Stags. See the final score there, and we'll head on to the next item.
The Bobcats may have been eliminated in the MAC tournament, but their season was not over, as Quinnipiac received a bid to the Women's National Invitation Tournament with their first round matchup coming against Rhode Island. Let's get into the first round of the WNIT in Rhode Island. Quinnipiac is out to a 7-2 lead here in the first quarter of the first round after you see this nifty putback by Amani Free. Great job there. We'll stay with you in the first quarter as URI went on a run after that layup by Emmanuel Tihan-E, putting URI up 10-7. And then near the end of the first, DeWeese gets that layup to go from Morris, and Quinnipiac leads as we go into the second quarter. Now here's a weird situation. As you see DeWeese, the ball bounces off her finger and DeWeese would be out for the rest of the game. But even without DeWeese, URI would go on a run as Renat hits that three, and Tian, he gets that pass and puts the layup in, and URI is leading 26-23 at the half. So we'll start the third quarter. DeWeese would come back on the bench, but she would not play. Regardless, Mackenzie Helms gets it started with the floater, and the Bobcats go on a little run. Sajeda Bonner drives in, gets past her defender, and scores, and gets that layup to go. And then Michaela Morris battling down low, and one putback. Her team is hyped up as we head into the fourth quarter. Quinnipiac leads 42-35, and then Quinnipiac dominates defensively. Cartiera Haywood with the stuff. Caverly hits that free throw, and Quinnipiac handled their business at the line and would celebrate the end of this game with a victory, 61-50.
Tonight, the Bobcats face the Boston College Eagles in round 2 of the NIT tournament. Let's take a look at some of the footage here as we recap what happened in Boston tonight. The Bobcats would go on to the second round of the WNIT to face the Eagles, and they fought hard but fell 68-94, and that would end their season in Boston. There was a battle between defenses, but the Eagles' offense overcame in the situation, scoring 23 fast break points over QU's 5, and they also had a field goal percentage of 52.9%. A great run for the Bobcats, but it will end right there in Beantown.
Up next, we'll take a look at the men's basketball team and a memorable run through the MAC tournament, which all began in round 1 against Marist. So now we'll hop into the first round, men's basketball, Quinnipiac versus Marist, and here we are. It's the 6th seed taking on the 11th seed. Seniors Kevin Marfo and Jacob Rigoni fighting to keep their careers alive in their potential last game of the season. Let's get into the first half. You'll see Jacob Rigoni gets a pass from Belanc and drills the three-pointer. Bobcats were hot all night, but not just Rigoni. Here's Courtwright. He takes a three. Got it. Bobcats were on fire and would hit 17 three-pointers in this game. That is the second highest amount of threes hit in MAC tournament history. As you see another one in the corner there for Belanc. Quinnipiac was raining threes all night as we hop into the second half. Those deep shots would not stop. Rigoni, three from the wing, got it again. He finished with 26 points and a career-high 7 three-pointers. And then Desi Jones drills another three for the Bobcats. Desi almost had a triple-double as he finished with 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Bobcats would win this one 77-52 and move on to the quarterfinals.
And after upsetting Marist, we move on to the MAC quarterfinals. Quinnipiac taking on the number 3 ranked Siena Saints. Rigoni was hot in the win over Marist, but Siena's Colby Rogers is the leader of their offense. So we'll jump into the second half right here. Jumping ahead, Kevin Marfo drives and takes this one himself. Marfo, knowing that his time in a Quinnipiac jersey could run out, he plays with a fire lit underneath him. Aggressive boards here from Marfo. He recovers this Louise Courtwright layup, pokes it in, and the and one. Quinnipiac would extend its lead to as many as 16. Saints now showing signs of life. Rebound off the glass, kicked out to Nick Hopkins. Nails the deep three. Siena cut the Bobcat big lead down to 3 points. And Kevin Marfo in this clip, he goes down hard. Foul called against the Bobcats, and he needs to take a walk to reset. A few plays later, Marfo is struggling. He tries to get the rebound on this play, but he doubles over in pain. He's going to walk himself off the court right here to the trainers, as he is going to leave with about 4 minutes left in the game. Now later on in the second half, Colby Rogers hits a big three and the Siena fans erupt. Siena up within 2, 66-64. Season's on the line. Who do you go to, Joey? None other than Jacob Rigoni. He knocks it down, and next he's going to make a huge defensive play as Siena gets the foul, and Rigoni knows that he is the man tonight. No time left for Siena here as Rigoni grabs the rebound on this free throw attempt and ends it. Quinnipiac pulls off another upset, taking down Siena 77-71 thanks to the efforts of Marfo and Rigoni. The MAC Cinderella story continues. And despite being on the Cinderella run, the clock struck midnight for the Bobcats after being eliminated in the MAC semifinals by the St. Peter's Peacocks. The Bobcats lost by the score of 64-52. Matthew Lee and Casey Ndefo led the way for the Peacocks with 14 and 13 points respectively. Kevin Marfo also registered a double-double in the game, where the Peacocks would eventually move on to become the 2022 MAC champions and head to the NCAA tournament. The Bobcats defied the odds to go on a historic run during this year's MAC tournament. Q30 men's basketball beat reporter Eric Kerr has more.
While the doubters criticized from their seats, Quinnipiac men's basketball gave us a show here at the MAC tournament. The Bobcats came into the tournament as the 11th seed, but made it all the way to the MAC semifinals before losing to St. Peter's. Now, while there was a lot of adversity to get through this point, throughout the journey, the Bobcats tried to focus on keeping a level head throughout.
Keep sticking with the process and be the best version of ourselves by the end of the year. Unfortunately, didn't go our way tonight, but I'm proud of our group and how we showed resilience.
A team that featured a strong offense, finishing second best in the MAC with 71.8 points per game, allowed just as many points per game at 71.5. These defensive woes, alongside injuries plaguing the backcourt, and a drop-off in their scoring to a little over 67 points per contest in their last 6 games, led to a streak in the wrong direction.
Teams don't do that. They don't lose 6 games and then come together and play their best basketball after that, and it's something I've cherished about this group.
But Quinnipiac did play their best basketball in the postseason. The Bobcats scored 77 points in their first 2 games of the tournament. They made 10 or more threes in each game, shooting greater than 47% from distance and holding opponents to under 40% from the field.
I thought they did a good job. They won the game, shot a great percentage from 3, 10 for 21, and beat us on the glass.
Quite obviously just had a lot of grit, and not necessarily defined by the record, but defined by their improvement and their mental toughness.
But the strong defensive play of St. Peter's proved too much for Quinnipiac. While the Bobcats did not finish with the championship, they believe nothing should be changed about their future.
Don't leave in all our assistants. There's no one more dedicated to the team and doing the job for us and trying to put us in the best position to win. So you can put it on the players for now, but we have great leadership and guys coming back. They're going to work even harder and harder, but there's no question that who should be leading this team, and I'm really thankful to be a part of that.
Reporting for Q30 Sports, I'm Eric Kerr.
Thanks, Eric, but we have to step out for another commercial break.
When Sports Paws returns, we'll have the latest results from spring sports, including lacrosse, baseball, softball. Stick with us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Thanks for sticking with us here on Sports Paws. Let's talk women's lacrosse. After losing to Bryant, the Bobcats came back to Hampden to try and return to their winning ways against the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. Here we go. It is a hailing game in Hampden for the Bobcats as they welcome in the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. You see the hail there, and it's a non-conference matchup. The Bobcats are coming off the loss to Bryant, as I mentioned, and looking to regroup in this game. Can they do it? Let's find out as we get into the first quarter of action here. The Bobcats start off strong with a direct pass in the middle and a shot that goes over the goalie's helmet for a goal by Maddie Deegan, putting the Bobcats in a temporary 1-0 lead. But shortly after, Jade Caitlin splits the defenders and she will score. Not much in the second quarter though. So then we will end that and go to the third quarter. And you'll see the Bobcats have a free position shot, and Ella Grace Delman fakes low and shoots high for a goal. And we'll move into the fourth and final quarter of the game now as the Riverhawks come in hot with a little give and go action here. And then Molly Shaw will shoot left and score. You see there, this brings the score to 12-8, and the Bobcats are still in the lead. And then the Riverhawks strike again, as you'll see Caitlin moving left to right and rolling the defender back and falls to the ground with a goal. And then to end the game, Ella Grace Delman carries the ball all the way across the entire field and scores as you find the opening there. And with that, the Bobcats secure the win over the Riverhawks 15-11.
Meanwhile, the men's lacrosse team began MAC play against the Manhattan Jaspers. The Bobcats fell to the Jaspers on Saturday in Riverdale, New York by the score of 9-7. Manhattan's Sean McKinney led his team in scoring with 5 points on the day, including 4 goals. The Bobcats cannot answer back despite a 2-goal performance from John DeLucia as they fall to a record of 1-5 to start the season. And now it is time for everyone's favorite segment of the week. Joey, let's do some top 5, and I'm thinking since it's playoff season, we'll do the best playoff plays. How about it? Let's do some top 5.
That sounds great to me, and I'll start us off.
Let's go.
We'll go right into play number 5 here, Clever. It's men's basketball versus Siena in the MAC quarterfinals. Luis Courtright goes in for the layup, you'll see, but he misses, and guess who's right there? The rebound king, Kevin Marfo, puts it back in with 3 defenders surrounding him. Quinnipiac will win that one.
Play number 4, women's ice hockey versus Syracuse in the NCAA tournament. Sadie Peart gets the puck and sneaks it in with the back of her stick for the goal. Let's go to the slow motion replay right there, and she scores. Quinnipiac would win that one and advance to the second round.
We're going to go over to men's hockey versus Harvard in the championship for play number 3, as you'll see TJ Friedman coming down the ice with defenders trailing him, swings it past the goalie, and he takes a slide, celebrates that goal.
Play number 2, men's basketball versus St. Peter's in the MAC semifinals. Luis Courtright passes it over to Kevin Marfo, and he swings it back to Courtright on the cut, the 2-hand slam. Let's go to the slow motion right here. He gets up and in. Look at the vertical leap. However, Quinnipiac's season would end in that game 64-52.
And get ready for play number 1, Clever, because it's a special moment for women's basketball.
I'm ready for it.
Play number 1. It may seem like just a free throw, but this is an important free throw as Mackenzie DeWeese makes it for her 1,000th career point in the MAC tournament as well. And you see the celebration there. The Bobcats won 63-42 and advanced to the semifinals. Well, Clever, that concludes a crazy top 5. And now that we're done, we'll take a look ahead at the week to compete and what's to come in Quinnipiac athletics.
Okay, let's take a look at the week preview ahead. First up, Quinnipiac taking on Yale in baseball Tuesday at 3 p.m. And then men's ice hockey competing in the NCAA tournament against St. Cloud State Friday at 8.
And then men's lacrosse is going to take on Monmouth Saturday at noon, and Quinnipiac softball will play Maine Saturday at 12:30 p.m.
Unfortunately, Joey, we're just about of time for this week here on Sports Paws.
Say it ain't so.
Oh, it is so. For other content from our team, be sure to follow us on social media at Q30 Sports and to visit our website, q30tv.com.
Also, be sure to download the new Q30 app, which is now available in the App Store and Google Play.
We would like to thank everybody behind the scenes and thank you for watching. For Joey O'Donohue, I'm Clever Streich. Good night from Hamden.